You're watching Those Who Care on PBC TV 20. We had a chance to visit a Center for Creative Education and take a look at what we witnessed.
The Center for Creative Education, CCE, empowers students to grow academically, creatively, and socially through art-based education. The majority of our students come from low socioeconomic neighborhoods and are primarily at risk of academic failure. Kindergartners through high schoolers use hands-on projects that are exciting and relevant to their lessons and lives outside the classroom. Visual, performing, and digital media arts are all used to help students achieve a deeper understanding of subjects such as language arts, math, and science. CCE was established in 1994 after local arts and education advocates saw the need for arts integration, which was diminishing in our schools. CCE's vision is to teach all children that they are capable of educational success and to help them develop a love of learning. We strive to give each student the opportunity to receive the benefits of art-based learning, think creatively, and apply their talents to become successful and contributing members of society.
Welcome back. I'm joined now with Vivian Hall, Director of Development, and Joe Madras, Manager of In-House Programs. Hello, Vivian and Joe. It's so nice to have you here in our studios today.
Thank you.
And I know you're here from the Center of Creative Education. So, Vivian, I'll start with you, and you can tell us, what is the Center for Creative Education?
The Center for Creative Education is a 501c3 or nonprofit organization here in the West Palm area. We're actually in the Northwood district.
Okay.
We are an organization that helps students throughout Palm Beach County with the various programming, which we'll get into in a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
We work with children for the most part from grades kindergarten up through high school.
Okay.
And high school is almost a new component that we're bringing in, although we have been sort of working with them a little bit. So we're kind of focusing on really young age to empower our children to grow academically, socially, creatively through arts-based education. So in other words, we teach children how to learn by using the arts as a hook or a way of getting them interested and engaged and all excited about education. We're hoping to get all children by the age of, or the grade, third grade, to be able to read and be literate, because that's the focus on everything and the key to success in future in life.
Absolutely. And I think you, in that spiel, you just kind of talked about what the mission is.
Oh, yes.
Give me a little background, your history. How did you begin? And
well, in our video, we alluded to the fact that we were started about 23 years ago. The Cultural Council of Palm Beach County, along with some funding from the Chastain Foundation and also the MacArthur Foundation, found that there was a bit of lacking of arts infused or arts integration instruction in the schools system here in Palm Beach County. So we came about because of that, and also some generous donors as well, individuals and corporations, way back in 1994. Since then, we served about 150,000 students throughout Palm Beach County, and we continue to grow and be visible in the community. And it's primarily we're in Title I schools when we do have our teaching artists in the schools, and like I said, Joe can address that as well. Okay.
And I want to know more about that. But Joe, let me come to you and ask you about these wonderful programs that you're heading up.
Sure. I'll start with the in-house programs. Like Vivian said, we do many different forms of programming. In our in-house programs, we've now started to focus on using visual arts, performing arts, media arts, and technology all combined in sort of a multidisciplinary set of programs to give students skills, obviously in the arts, but then to, like Vivian said, engage them in their education process and use the arts to enhance their education and improve their academic success. So we now have a full continuum from 3rd grade all the way to senior year of high school, where we are able to offer programming in-house for students that it uses all of those areas together, and many of them combine those art forms in the theme of storytelling or communication skills. So starting with the elementary school program, we call it the Discover Series. It's for 3rd through 5th grade students, and they begin with a storytelling unit, which is basically theater and creative writing. So they learn many, many different ways of effective communication, and then they actually they write their own creative stories, and they take those stories with them through the rest of the program. So they move into visual arts, where they visualize their characters and their scenes with painting, drawing, sculpture, possibly even some stop motion animation. Then they move into a sound design unit, where we can use our brand new 20-station media lab. We have a recording studio.
Wow.
So the students will be able to use our iPads and record sound. They're going to narrate their stories. They're going to do voiceover and dialogue and sound effects and even musical underscoring using all of this new technology that we have. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is really cool.
It's a pretty rare opportunity, I mean, especially for the underserved populations, but even, we've done the research county-wide, there's really nothing like it being offered right now, and even in the private schools.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like it. Let me ask Joe, the program, do you go on site to schools, or is it an after-school program?
Well, the programs I was just describing with in-house, those pretty much can just happen in our facility because of the resources that we have there. But CCE does have 2 other branches of programming. We do arts integrated programs in school during the school day, where we have our art teachers work with a classroom teacher and actually create a brand new curriculum for 30 weeks, which is most of the school year, where they go into the classroom once a week and combine that art form with the classroom subject to enhance the students' understanding, comprehension of the subject, and really get them more engaged. I mean, we actually did a study ourselves of our first year, and the results were amazing. 2 and 3 times better reading scores from the arts integrated classrooms than the control group classrooms. So we've gotten the attention of the school district. They're on board. We're now expanding into, we're now in 3 schools, and we're going to build into 3 entire grade levels, K1 and 2, to, like Vivian said, get the students up to reading level, grade level reading by 3rd grade. So we've seen the results. The research before us was already there, but we've now shown that we can implement those kind of results. So those are our in-school programs, and then we have an after-school component where we also send teaching artists into the after-school sites, and they do what we call arts-aligned programming. So it's arts-based, but they're working with projects that relate to whatever they're learning in school at the time.
It's a pretty amazing program that you have
here.
Let me ask you, Vivian, with all these wonderful things, recording studios, you're teaching them voiceover and the arts, all of that. What's the cost and funding in all of this, and how do you receive funding?
Well, the programs vary. The Discover series is around $1,000 for each student for the year that they're in it, up to about $1,600 for the older children that are in the C4, what we call the C4 classes, which are the high schoolers. As far as our funding is concerned, we are state funded to a degree with grants and such. Also, we partner with Primetime Palm Beach County. That does a lot of help with us. We also have private donors and corporations. We do fundraising. We have a huge fundraiser on the island of Palm Beach every spring. About 250 people attend that. Wow. We raised a record amount of money for that this past year. We always look for, as probably most nonprofits do, we're always looking for sponsorship and support and such. And also we've just started up an endowment campaign through the Community Foundation of Palm Beach and Martin counties. We have about a $5 million campaign goal eventually. We'll be kicking that off in 2018. So that's kind of rolling along too to keep us sustainable. Might also mention that we are a recipient of the top 4-star rating charity navigator, which is huge. And about 20% of nonprofits throughout the country apply for that, that get that. And it basically means we're accountable fiscally, socially, and transparent to our donors and to the constituents.
I'm sure Palm Beach County is proud to be a part of this agency and all the wonderful things that you're doing. What about families who can't afford to send their children there?
Joe,
I
did you
can do
want to address that? Yeah.
So, like Vivian said, we do have, we kind of moved from calling them free programs to calling them having a tuition reduction option based on need. We want to have all families be able to afford the programs, but also feel like they have some investment in it. So like Vivian said, we have full tuitions. Discover Series, which is the elementary school program, is $1,000 a year. The high school program is $1,600. The middle school is $1,300. But with our grant funding and our tuition scale, when families register, we ask them to submit their tax returns. We just look at household size and income. And in all three programs, the reduction can go all the way down to just $50 for the whole year. We use the school's determination of free and reduced lunch. And we looked, we researched median Florida income, and we sort of just created a scale with, I think it's like 10 different categories. So around over 80% of our families participate in that $50 to $100 a year range. So full tuition, it's affordable based on what we're giving, but most of our families are participating for $50.
And we'll have your website on the screen here so people can just log in and see what you're all about and all the services that you provide. Very quickly, Joe, give me a success story about someone who's gone through your program.
Sure. Well, we just finished our third year of the Discover Series program. And in that program, before we sort of restructured it, we offered all different art forms to the kids, including instrumental music and singing. We had students who had, and their families, with no background in the arts, no ability to be exposed to the arts. And one student we had, Lenny, he started with us. He went through all 3 years of the program. Every art area we introduced them to, we also introduced them to a local organization that focuses on that area. So we introduced him to Young Singers. We introduced him to many other art organizations. Based on his exposure through the Discover Series, he he auditioned to Young Singers. He got into Young Singers. With his continued exposure to the arts, he got into what is the Bach Middle School, and so that's one success story. He's now really committed to the arts, and it's really allowed him to focus. His whole family, all 3 brothers, are now transitioning into our program. So the whole family is really excited to be part of CCE, and we actually have many success stories like that, but that's the one that stands out.
I'm sure. Thank you so much for that and all the work that you're doing in Palm Beach County. Vivian, Joe, it was a pleasure having you here with us today.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. I'd like to thank all my guests and all of you for watching, those who care. I'm Darlene Henry. Be kind to one another. Until next time.